we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. They fit their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip gods into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They fit their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we want retribution. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. They fit their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip gods into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Welcome, Commander. It's slime time again. Slime time again. Time to get slimed. Welcome, Mr. Gotten Giz. Hello, hello. Hello, Namka. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hello, Abzel, and Heretic, and John. And Ursus Rex, good to see you again, sir. I think that makes 2 times in a row that you've come to my streams, 2 or 3. 2 or 3 times. Cody Brown has been looking forward to this stream. I'm glad. You know, there's a tournament that I saw that I wanted to sort of study for and learn about. tournament Battletech is something that I've never really addressed before. I'm mostly a narrative guy. But I think it's important to test ourselves in the tournament setting to make sure that our assumptions are all correct, although it is a different way to play the game. Not my favorite way to play the game, but a way to play the game, and something that if we do, I think we'll get mechanically better. Second time, the streak. Abzagal, bro, make more videos, not streams. But I've started streaming 4 months ago. I think I took like a 2-week break between like making content and not writing content, but putting content out. Just like a 2-week vacation out of 52-week year, I think is fine. And streaming as well. So there are a bunch of videos in the pipeline. Rest assured, I know that you're the second one, Abzal, to mention that they did subscribe for the Battletech content and Battletech videos. And I was doing some karaoke last night, and I was playing some other games last night. And that is something that I enjoy. I am very passionate about Battletech, but sometimes it gets a little tiring. You don't want to stomp your robot all the time. Some you gotta change it up with a little bit of Cthulhu or a little bit of fantasy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have like 4 or 5 scraps. I think I'm evolving as a creator a little bit, whereas I'm not doing every piece of content out there. I kind of wanted to address bigger subjects. I think that's probably the way to go for me for now. I know that a lot of people have subscribed, like yourself, for the mech reviews, and I do want to do the mech reviews. The heavy, we're getting very close to the heavy tier list. We're getting very close. I have like an assault that's done, assault video that scripts. It's pretty much almost done. I just have to solve a couple more things. And some other things. So, more videos will be coming soon. They just take a while, and it's a lot easier for me to stream and talk Battletech and connect with you guys. But I think doing both is probably very important. So, I know that maybe a couple of you are upset that videos aren't coming out as fast as you'd like, but they're coming. Hello, AX111, AAX111. Hello. And good morning, David Vargas. Hello. You mentioned in another live stream that you had opinions on lights have changed since the light tier list. Is that something you can briefly talk about during the stream? Yeah, and it'll actually come up. When I did the light tier list, I did it, I believe, 6 months ago, and I've played consistently about once a week since then. And so I think a couple of mechs are maybe miscategorized. Primarily the spider. I think playing on the tournament server has definitely shown me that the spider is definitely not, I don't think, an F tier mech. It does seem to come up quite a lot in the Battletech tournament games. In the lore, it's quite a rare mech, first of all, and second of all, it's very expensive. It's like 3 million, right? Whereas the Locust, I think, is half of that cost or something like that. But they use it for their kicks. So they'll jump behind a pilot, jump behind a heavy mech, and just kick it. And then they'll put a veteran, a 4-3 pilot in there. So I think which I didn't consider before. Just this kicking as a standard attack is very powerful. So they're not using it for the damage, but they're using it for the knockdown trigger. So when you get kicked by a mech, you have to make a roll to stand on your feet. So they'll get behind a very expensive mech like a longbow or your awesome, right? And then they'll just get behind it and kick it. And then it'll have to make a pilot check. And I think a 4 or 5 pilot has something like a 20-something% chance to fall down. We can look later. I have the tournament thing up. But yeah, I think the spider might be miscategorized. I don't know where I would put it. I mean, it could in tournament Battletech. I think it definitely seems meta. It definitely seems like A or S. just because of the extreme flexibility. I'm still not convinced it's S tier. I think it's definitely meta and it's definitely good. You do need to play pretty much perfectly with the spider in order to avoid, getting shot. And there's always a risk of getting blown up by that large laser because of light armor. Yeah, I don't know. In narrative Battletech, I still think it's quite rare. It's hard to say, what's realistic. The answer is I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that the spider is mixed categorized. Good morning from down under. Hello, Very Silent Mouse. Nice of you to join us. Happy Sunday. Are you talking in an auditorium? Oh, shoot. I was singing karaoke last night. Hang on. That's better. Okay, that should be better, right? No more auditorium talking. Welcome to my lecture hall. The spider is at least a D. I find again it's find a physical group that plays Battletech semi-regularly. Going in for my first game tonight. Wish me luck. Hey, good luck, AAX. That sounds great. I'm happy that you're getting in the game and happy that you're actually finally able to play. Yeah, that's really cool. That's what we want to do. Bruce D, I prefer campaign play best. Yeah, I do think it is important. I do like campaign play better. I'm just not a fan of like the whole meta, going to like a Warhammer tournament and like looking at all those tournament lists and blah 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 blah. But that being said, I do think that tournament play is important for a narrative player because it shows you, it doesn't let you hide behind any kind of story thing, right? In tournament play, you're throwing everything out the window. You're kind of backing into it and you're going backwards, and you have to test your theories. You have to test what you think is good in a very not clinical way, but like you have to test yourself against real competition, and that's what interests me about the tournament. If I had to pick between narrative and tournament play, definitely I'd go with narrative pretty much every time. But I do think it's important to understand what's good, and in order to understand what's good from a pure mechanics point of view, you do have to go to the tournaments, and I think you do have to test yourself. So that's what we're studying today. Michael Estep, the spider is such a good scout and harasser with the jumps. Yeah, they do use the spider for that 8 jump, and that's pretty much its main mode. And we can go through we'll go through the numbers later, and I'll show you statistically, mathematically, why the spider is good and what they're using it for. Cody Brown, I've done that with a custom assassin medium in the campaign quite a lot, mostly kicking with high armor and 2 medium lasers. Yeah, that's the tactic. Rossetier Bread, good stuff, mate. Thank you. Glad for you to join us, Mr. Rossetier Bread. I think that's the first time I've seen your chat, so welcome to chat. Solaris 7 is a good experience. Okay. Solaris 7. You mean the video game, or do you mean the actual? I think there's like a mini game called Solaris 7. Anyway, while you answer my question, let's flip to my subject today: breaking a tournament. So today we'll be exploring, not in a narrative. We're going to be doing something completely different. We're going to be exploring what it's like to play in a tournament. And there's a couple of reasons for this. So, and I mentioned them before. We're throwing the narrative out the window. Meaning that we don't really care. We really do not care about the story. At this point, we don't care about the story. We're here basically to win. Right? When we play tournament Battletech, we're playing to win. We don't care that, for example, we don't care that the Black Knight is rare. Doesn't matter. We're just playing whatever's strong. Play what's strong. And ideally, we want to generate some kind of advantage. Through knowledge and through study. Study of the conditions, right? So that means basically if we're not really taking like if Jade Falcon is our favorite faction or Steiner's our favorite faction, we don't care. We're just gonna pick the faction that gives the strongest mechs, gives the strongest advantage, and we're gonna play that. For spiders, does it depend on variant? Mostly from what I've seen, and I'm not an experienced Battletech tournament player. In fact, I think if I play in this tournament, this will be the first tournament that I play in. It seems like spiders are being used for their kicks. So as long as it has that 8 jump, which gives it that extreme flexibility, they're just jumping behind and kicking. So the primary attack, the primary weapon is the kick. Now, I would say for variant, you probably want to take the one with the highest armor and no ammunition, as that'll give you the highest chance to survive. So I think the 2 medium laser spider from the Secession War era is probably the meta one. It seems just straight better than the machine gun variant that has a chance to explode. What rule set are you considering? Like, are design quirks a thing? I'm glad you asked that. So that brings me to my next point. But anyway, let me wrap up this point. The point is that we really don't care. We really don't care about the narrative. We just want to play what works, what wins. Just play what's strong, right? And the tournament that I chose to study today is this thing called Tukayid Heat. It's run by these guys called MRC. They have a Discord if you'd like to participate and join. The tournament is coming up in May, so like next month. So we have about 1 month if you'd like to play to study. Doodle, is the Crablands meta? The crab seems pretty strong, but I don't know if it's meta. So this is a 2K at Heat. As we come on the most solemn occasion in the Inner Sphere, the Memorial month of May, it's time to harken back to those days when the clans first invaded the Inner Sphere. All across the Inner Sphere, there was worry that these harsh invaders would crush the wondrous freedoms we enjoyed. And in our darkest days, a bright light rose to save humanity. Blah, blah, blah. It fell to Focht, blah, blah, blah. Tournament will take place on the month of May. Each player will be matched 4 games, 1 time each week. Games will be played using Mega Mech. At the end of the report, MRC command, blah, blah, blah. Veterans, blah, blah, blah. There are plenty opportunities for cutthroat games. I am paring down what most of the MRC offers as a way to build up a larger player base. So if you're, basically they're saying if you're a newbie, this is a great way to kind of get into it because there's a limited number of tech, there's a limited number of missions. So it's nice. It's intended, MRC is intending this to be a nice way to get into it, which I think is nice since our community is growing that they offer this. I love optimizing lists, but simultaneously, it's why I like campaign op style force building. Yeah, I do think we're doing something completely different. We're going completely backwards. This is completely backwards to what we normally do, right? Completely backwards. Normally, what we would do is we would look at the narrative, and then we would look at like what's realistic. And then we would pick our mechs, right? Here, what we're doing is what's strong. And then pick faction. And then pick mechs, right? So we're just flipping it completely around. Instead of the narrative, we're looking at what's strong, and we're going through that. Okay, how matchmaking will work, blah, blah, blah. Mega mech, blah, blah, blah. And then they're saying these use these unofficial rules. They have this front-loaded initiative. There's ejected pilots flee, floating crits, prone firing arm. These are all something that we'd have to study later, but I'm not really going to go over them. These optional rules kind of change the way that the game is played meta-wise, and I will have to eventually go through these if I wanted to play in this campaign. But what's good about this is it uses the base Battletech Classic game. So if you know Battletech Classic, you can kind of adjust, which is why it's kind of good to play without house rules. Because if you play with just standard, if you just play with standard Classic Battletech stuff with your own, then you can adjust, I guess. I personally play with quirks, but it doesn't look like they play with quirks in this game. Okay. Lists are due by April 24th, so you got about 2-3 weeks. Now the BV's interesting here. So era is Clan Invasion, 3050 to 3061. So as we're taking notes, we want to say that I guess conditions. So the conditions of this campaign or this tournament is 3061, 7500. Oops, 7500 BV. Number of units 2 to 6. Introductory and standard tech only. Pilots must be within 1 skill level. For example, 3-3 or 4-3, not 3-5 and 5-3. And that's important because that prevents you from bringing like 0-5 pilots, right? So just some wacky stuff. And this is not like, right, this is a tournament, right? So everyone's trying to get an advantage. There's a reason why this rule is in place. Number of units 2 to 6. And now this is where the first thing comes in. So era, this is where the first thing comes in. I think when we're building our lists, I think more mechs are better. And I think for my list, I want to max it. I want to max at 6 units. Why? I want to max at 6 units because of the way that initiative works. I'll be able to see more. Basically, I can see more moves from the opponent. I can sync and counter. Sync, and I can use the initiative sync. So, right, I can use like these cheap dummy units. To see moves, right? And gain more information to counter. It also if you put all your eggs in one basket, if you get headshot, you die. And as we'll see later, getting a headshot in the 3061 era is a lot more common. By like stuff like ERPPCs and Gauss weapons, which just one-shot you. So it spreads out. It makes the game, basically makes your units less like more stable, I guess. More stable. Less chance to get well, I guess the chance to get headshots all the same, but there's you kind of even out. Even out on the odds. And one mech dying doesn't cripple your strategy. So kind of like how do you say that? Redundancy. Right. Tournament play needs to define a few things. Yep. That's what the document is doing. Wait till we get to the hermit crab and the heavy crab, and then we got a full crab lance. That's what we want. Immediate take. Most clan tech is actually too expensive on a BV based list. Yes, I would agree. And I think the document does explain that we are able to get either clan or inner sphere, but I don't want to get into that yet. But I do. I want to start from the top and work my way down. And understand the tournament. I think that's the best way to do it. And then from there, we just pick our faction and pick our mechs. But I do think that, yeah, you are right. If you take like, let's say something like let's say like the classic mech, like a Timberwolf, right? Let's look at what a Timberwolf is. Timberwolf on the master unit list. Let's just look at the classic Timberwolf, the Timberwolf Prime. Timberwolf Prime, a 3-4 pilot, is 3,613 BV. 3,613 BV. This is a Timberwolf with a 3-4 pilot. That's nearly half. Nearly half of our points. And so that's something that we need to take in consideration, especially if we need to fill out 6 units. We can take 2 Timberwolves for our list, and that's pretty much about it. A lot of the iconic clan mechs are overpriced. Yeah, they're very expensive. Makes sense. Extra redundancy action economy. Welcome, Tron. Yeah, you're exactly right. And if you've played a lot of tabletop board games, you're gonna see that a lot of this stuff carries over, right? These are just kind of like classic strategies that you're kind of using and taking advantage of. And I wouldn't say abusing, but abusing. You're using it to get an advantage. And focus fire is definitely a thing. Redundancy is definitely a thing. Action economy is definitely a thing. Yeah. Less RNG reliant. Yeah, exactly, Colby. So I don't like it, and if you throw, like, part of the reason why I used to play Imperial Guard and I used to like Guard is because you have so much redundancy. If you lose a platoon, you've got like 2 more platoons. And you can throw, like, eventually the dice are going to go your way if you're shooting out let's say 20 las cannons, or like 6 LRM systems. If I'm firing 6 LRM systems, eventually something's going to hit and I'm going to even out a lot better, versus if I have one big cannon and I'm risking everything that cannon has to hit or I lose. It just seems like a coin flip, even if it's 50-50. Right. Let's see here. Oh, we got 34 homies in chat. Hello, homies. Hello, my homies. Welcome to chat. Okay, let's keep going. Now, this is something that when I saw this, I thought, aha, this is where we can get a major advantage, okay? Major advantage. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be doing this in this tournament. Okay, map sheets. 3 map sheets, 16 by 17. The middle map is Grasslands 1. Hey, Icarus Falls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, unit type restrictions. Yes. Mechs only. Yeah. Battle mechs and Omni mechs. Player may only bring a unit of 2 chassis, but it must be separate variants. So there's no battle armor. So that's very important. So before we get to that other point. But that's very important. No battle armor. And battle armor, from what I understand and from my couple of games that I played as clans, I think is key to the clan strategy. Why is it key to the clan strategy? Because it's the cheap unit. It's a cheap unit for them. Clan of let's look at elementals. It lets the clan sink. Otherwise, they have to take elemental. The elemental battle armor. Yeah, it's about 400, like 300 to 400 points. And that's what lets the clans play, really, I think. So I think it'd be very hard. I don't want to say that clans are unplayable, but if we want to play with 6 units and take advantage of this initiative sync, and we want to take advantage of this redundancy, I think clans are not looking good off the bat because there's no battle armor, because this tournament doesn't allow them. Pure mechs with no suits or armor sounds good. What is battle armor? Are those vehicles or infantry? Oh, okay. So battle armor is let me pull it up. That's a good point. If you battle. I'm sure you've seen it before. It's like the let's see, elementals, I think. I'm sure you've seen it before. It's this lady. Element battle armor. It's this stuff. So there are units of 5. There are units of 5 infantry that have jump jets. They jump 3 squares. They're harder to hit. They're very tanky because there's 5 of them, and each of them have 11 HP. And they're very cheap. So while this Timberwolf costs 3,000 BV, like, these elementals are like 400 or 400 or 500 points, which lets the clans play, because if you want 6 units, you need to take that battle armor. So they're very tanky. They're not super mobile. They have 5 small lasers, and then they have 2 shots. They can shoot twice with SRM2 packs. But I think the elementals are pretty much key to the clan strategy because there are so few. Because there are so few mechs when you play clans, right? Because your mechs are like 3 times the value of an inner sphere. You have to use that clan elemental armor to like get in the way, to roadblock, to jump on enemy mechs, to clobber them. So they're like the very beginning of like combined arms, I would say. Very new to the game. I appreciate it. Yeah, well, it seems pretty insane. Yeah, like you can hit an elemental with a PPC and it'll live. Like you hit it with an awesome PPC, right? It takes 10 damage. It's got 11 health. And so you have to hit it again. And what makes it really hard to hit too is there's 5 suits, and every time you hit it, you have to roll randomly to determine which suit gets hit. So very, very tanky unit. You kind of need different weapons to deal with it. It definitely helps dislodging heavy mechs from what I've found. So if you have like your awesome or your archer kind of sitting on a hill bombing things, well, once that elemental kind of gets in its square or gets close, that archer's got to move. Can it outrun it? Yes, the archer can outrun it, but you don't really want your archer and your awesomes moving. You want them in static positions, and the elementals attack that. The elementals really prevent that, and they help with the sinking. So that's what the elementals are good for. We don't have elementals here in 2K Heat, which I think puts clans at a disadvantage. They can't run 6 units. I mean, they'll be very hard pressed to run six good units, I think. It sounds so obnoxious, yeah. Makes sense for them to only allow mechs as it being meant for a beginner's tournament. Yeah, exactly. I do think that. You need long toms to deal with elementals. Oh god. 1 shell, multiple elemental points dead. So we won't have to deal with this. You can get a pretty good group for under 750 for 7,500 for clans. I've been playing a campaign with my buddy between 65 and 9,000 depending on the scenario. Really, Michael? Could you post your list? Could you post your 7,500 list? I'd be kind of curious to take a look at that. Yeah, the 11 HP is huge. Literally doubles their durability and tons of weapons. Makes sense. Yeah, thank you for the explanation. No problem. Michael, if you're there, could you post your clan list? I want to see. Okay, so back to my point. This is huge. When I read this, that the middle map is Grasslands 1, this for campaign massive. Why? Well, it means we can actually study. This is what Grasslands 1 looks like. It means we can look at this map and figure out where are the points to attack. Like, we know the ground. It's all scouted. So if you do your homework, where's my star? If you do your homework, you'll be able to generate an advantage for yourself, right? Because you'll know the map and your opponent won't. He'll not have time to do his homework. So let's just point out the best ground here, right? We can see that the middle map is going to be an open ground. We can see that the best places to stay are the heavy terrain or the heavy woods. So I'll mark it with stars. So off the bat, I already know that you probably want to go here for your best bet, your best defense. We can also take a look at shooting lanes, right? So let me just keep going here. Players roll, and the highest roll is player 1 and selects the map and direction. This will be the home player's map, the player 1's home map. Map selection must be from the beginner's box, AGOC, or clan invasion. So that's a very small data set. That's just 9 more maps. That's these guys, and these guys. So we know the terrain. And all we have to do now is we have to study these maps and figure out which are the best maps to use, which are the best terrain, right? Which gives us the best terrain to play off of, and then we can make a lot of, we can learn a lot of things about like what this tournament's going to shape up like, and we can use this information for picking our best mechs. The awesome is extra awesome on Grasslands 1. Grasslands 1 is no man's land. What tournament is this even? This is a MRB 2K8 Heats virtual tournament. So this is kind of like, I don't know of any other global tournament, but this is, if there was a global, like if there was a world championship, it would probably be held on MRB, on the MRB Discord. But yeah, this definitely looks like a no man's land map. Let's keep reading. Lowest player selects third map and places on the opposite side. So you should have a map that's either 16 times 3, so 48 by 17, or 51 by 16, right? So what it's saying is you take like two of these maps. You take two of these maps and you just lay them together. I'll copy this, duplicate. So you lay them together like this. So that's player 1. And then player 2 takes whatever, like this map. And that's your map. So we know that if we win the roll, then player 1's taking the best map, right? Whatever map he thinks is best. And then you take the other map, and you take whatever you think is best. So our task here is to find the two best maps, right? Because we can win the roll or we can lose the roll. And then we also want to, because we know it's no man's land, we want to prep for Grasslands 1. Because we know Grasslands 1 is always going to be played. No matter what, it's going to be the center map. So you'll always know the two maps you're picking on. That's really cool for list planning. Yeah. So we can just, like, what we would do is we would just go through these maps and we would say, like, okay, what we want to do, like, when I'm looking at this, I want to control the field because I know this is a no man's land. It's going to be really risky for anyone to kind of come through here, right? Like, coming through here, you're going to have to tree hop from here to here to here, from here to here to here. You're going to have to go, like, if you're this guy, you have to come in here, then here, and then, like, maybe here, and then you make an attack like this. Or you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here. So it's going to take you, like, it's going to take you a while. It's going to take you 3 or 4 turns to cross this no man's land if you want to get in. So what we want, I think, is we want to pick maps that are easy to get into a high, an area with good elevation. So like something like this wouldn't be bad if we're attacking the bottom side of the board. So we get in here, we have cover, we have an elevated position. So we're getting that partial cover, and we're just bombing him as he comes in. So I think you're right. I think awesomes are quite good here, like PPCs, ERPPCs, and LRMs, because this is such a no man's land. It's essentially no man's land with grass. Yep. Very true, very true. Okay, so that's something we have to do. All units of player's force must be from their chosen faction, using the master units list to dictate what's available for them in each era of play. That's fine. What we don't, like I said before, we really don't care about like availability. All we're gonna do is we're gonna pick the mechs that are gonna do well here, and then we're just gonna pick the best faction for that. There are multiple ways to play. That being said, there are multiple ways of playing a tournament. You can kind of play like semi-narrative. You can say like, oh, my best my favorite faction is Jade Falcon, or I collect Jade Falcon, and so I'm gonna play my favorite mechs, or I'm gonna build around, you know, Nikolai Malthus's Summoner. That's one way to go around about it, which isn't a wrong way to play. But I wanna for this stream, I want to go on the extreme side and say like, hey, I'm just playing to win, because I think there are players like that, and you should and we should explore that. I have Total Werefer, not BMM. Are the rules for mech combat the same between the two? I'm not sure. I'm not sure the answer to that question. Okay. So there are a couple different missions. Stand up and fight, crush the head, probe, and king of the hill. So we know the missions. Let's read them here. Stand up and fight. This mission is simply a stand up fight, winner take all. The forces in a stand up fight mission begin play along the edges of the map, with each player's force designating a single home edge. Victory is given to the player with the last unit still in the field. If both players still have units on the field on turn 15, then the combat score from destroyed units will be used to determine the winner. Once all enemy units are destroyed, or 50 turns have been played, the game ends. Winning player is given the objective points for this match. So, this is the maps. And this is the game. So this is the missions, right? So in stand-up fight, it's just kill, right? Simple mission. What does that mean? That means for us that we want very durable mechs, right? In order to win, we need to kill. So we need durable mechs. We also need deadly mechs. Mechs that can deal damage. Okay, so to win this match, we need to be able to do damage, and we need to be able to be resistant to damage. So, high defense. So what does that mean? That means energy builds, right? If we run an energy build, there's no chance of us to get an ammo explosion. There's no chance of us to die from ammo explosion. So energy builds are good here. Range is good here, right? Hit without getting hit back, especially with that no man's land, right? Especially with that no man's land, that grasslands no man's land. I don't really want to have to cross. The moment I have to cross, I take damage, right? Especially with no man's land. Okay. What else does that mean? High armor. That also means case, right? Case is a new technology that if you run ammo that you don't die right away. Your arm, just this location blows up. Instead of blowing inside into your mech, it blows out of your mech. Okay. What else? Mechs can deal damage. Range is good. There is the golden BB effect. So golden BB. That could be I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it's basically one shot the head. Weapons that one shot the head. It doesn't happen a lot, but having weapons that one shot the head, pretty good. I mean, it'll happen sometimes, right? So that's AC 20, right? So it's like basically 15 plus damage, right, to the head. AC 20. I think it's Gauss, unless I'm mistaken, and ERPPC. Twitchtron, we might need something that can get close for the missions, right? So this is stand-up kill. Right? Okay. Let's move on. All right, crush the head. This mission type is ideally played by two opposing forces or sides, but more can be added so long as no two deployment zones are touching. Before play begins, each side must pick one unit to be the commander. This is also key. So this means crush the head. We pick before the battle. That means we can change it, right? The wording. We can change between matches. Okay. The forces in Crush Ahead mission begin play on the edges of the map, with each player's force designating a single home edge. Victory is given to the player with the last commander still on the field. If both players have their commander and neither commander is on the field, or if neither player has a commander on the field, then the combat score from destroyed units will determine the winner. Once all enemy units are destroyed or 15 turns have been played, the game ends. The winning player is given objective points for this match. So, what does this mean? This is essentially a kill mission. Essentially, again, stand-up kill. Right? This is exactly like stand-up kill with a VIP. With VIP. Okay. How do we really do well in this Crush the Head game? If this was the Crush the Head, only the Charger might actually make a good commander. I think, okay. What do we want our VIP to do? We want our VIP to have high defensive stats. Or never get hit. How do we do that? Well, this is a tournament, right? So we're not here to be realistic. We're not here to make friends. We're here to win, right? That's so bad to say. But we're here to win. I'm thinking one way to go about it is have a really tanky mech like the Awesome and play it on the front line and shoot. But whatever we pick as the VIP is going to get targeted out right away, right? Essentially, whatever we pick as the VIP is going to hit right away. The other way to go about it, the cheesy way to go about it, is to take a very cheap mech and just park it in the back here, right? Park it in the back here, use it purely as an initiative sink, just make it as cheap as possible, like a Locust, and then if they try and come and attack you, you just run away. You just use your 11 speed, boop, now I'm over here. Oh, you're coming this way? Boop, now I'm over here. Oh, you're trying to come around this way? Oh, boop, now I'm over here. So, either have high defensive stats, or park it in the back where it can never get hit. What is that going to do? If the opponent picks a VIP mech like an Awesome, that means we just put our mechs on the battle line and we bomb them with our LMs and ERPPCs. And eventually, like, he has to run them away and die, and then we push in and we win. If he does the same strategy, right? He takes a Locust, he parks it here. He takes a Locust and parks it there. I take a Locust and park it here. Then we're just back to stand-up kill. The Locust isn't good without narrow low profile, I wouldn't think. The open map makes it easier to move at full speed without jumping, though. Yeah, true. But we take like we take a spider. Like the mech, I think the specific mech, I think we have yet to pick. But the concept is there, right? And then once we have the concept down, then we'll start picking the mechs and going through them. Commander can't be the lowest battle value, so you'd be forced for the second slightly worse Locust. Oh, the commander can't be the lowest battle value. Is that a rule here? Let's see. During play, a unit with an active pro of any kind can expose the pulling player's commander. Unit has active pro, blah, 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 blah. Notice that somewhere on the sheets before? Okay. That is okay, I think. But that's also something that we should look into. So, can the commander be the cheapest unit? If it can't be, then maybe we run two. Maybe we run two initiative sinkers and keep one in the back. Keep the commander in the back. So for example, we just do like a 400 point mech, and then a 500 point, or like even like a 450 point mech. Oops, 450 point mech. And then the 450 is our commander. And then maybe that's how we skirt around the rule. Mechs only, so no VTOL, yep. Double check, safe bet. I mean, scouts are good for some of those missions. Yeah. So something to do Crush the Head. Things to note for Crush the Head. The next mission is Probe. The forces in a probe mission begin play along the edges of the map, with each player's force designating a single home edge. The mission has 3 objectives. Objectives 1 and 2 are independent of each other and can be claimed at any time. Objective 3 can only be claimed after successfully completing Objective 1 and 2. Objective 1, 20% of the score. Get at least 1 unit into your enemy's home map. To achieve this objective, at least one of your units must cross 2 map sheets and enter into the enemy's map sheet. Your unit must spend 1 full turn in the enemy's home map. Although it can move and fire, it must start the movement phase of the enemy's map sheet at the end and end the turn in the enemy's map sheet. So it has to start from here. It has to go here, stay here for 1 turn, and then pull back out. Okay, so we need something fast, right? Probe. Essentially, get 1 unit. So 20% of the score. Get 1 unit to enemy map. Keep it there for 1 turn. Okay. So we're thinking fast. Fast and durable. Something fast and durable. Deployment is on the short edge, not on the long edge. It can be either. It can be either. They can stack like this if you want. Yeah. All right, what's the next objective? 30%. Cripple or destroy at least 1 unit. Okay. So again, that's just kill. 30%. Okay. I don't know why it's like this. Why are you like this? Why do you do this to me? PowerPoint, please. Okay, anyway. What's the third objective? 50%. Wow. Wow. 50% of the overall objective score is not winnable if you table your opponent. Once objective 1 and 2 have been completed. Exit the map off your home edge with all remaining active units. If you have a unit unable to move and is still active, if you have a unit unable to move, it is still active until it is destroyed or ejected. Any unit on your roster unable to exit the map by the end of the game decreases the objective by 10%. Once one or both sides have no units remaining on the map, or 15 turns, the event ends. In the event that both players have an objective tie, the combat score will be used to determine the winner. Ah, interesting, interesting. So this objective 3 makes things really interesting. It means you can't go very far in because you need to exit off your home edge with all remaining active units. So if this is your home edge and you have a brawler and you push in all the way over here, you have to exit by walking all the way back out. You get that? So if you have to move here, you have to brawl, you have to walk all the way out by taking damage. And every time you lose a mech, reduces the score by 10%. So again, it definitely looks like exit off with all mechs. So you want to be closer to your home edge, right? You want to be closer to your home edge under these rules. Now, what does that mean? If you want to be close to your home edge, then range is better. Let's see here. Range is better. Exit with all your mechs. Minus 10% if you lose a mech. Right? You want to be closer to your home edge. That means range is better. You want durable mechs. And if the game ends in the event, players have an eject tie combat score we use to determine the winner. I'm assuming combat score is like kill. I'd have to look at that up later. And basically, it's also kill. Also kill. Also kind of like stand-up kill. So there's kind of like a interesting... There's kind of an interesting... Not meta here, but there's an interesting game that's going... Like, game within a game that's going on here. You need to run your one mech to the other side and kill a thing. So you want to run a mech over here, right? And then you also need to, like, find a way to kill a thing. And typically that will be the thing that's running out. If not, then you have to run and chase the enemy and destroy him. And everything that's moving will sort of focus fire, right? Everything that's kind of moving out into here will focus fire. So we'll focus fire that one thing that's scouting. So I guess there's two ways to kind of go around this. Like one, so possible strategies, right? Strategy, just send like one or two fast guys, or just send the whole team. I don't think send the whole team is good. It gets a little messy because then, yeah, I don't think this is good because then your opponent will just get their one mech in, and then they will like back up as they're destroying your guys, and they'll complete their objective faster, I think. That 8 jump spider looks good for that probe. Yeah, I think so. If there's no one left to report, it's still good scouting. So a fast jumper like an assassin will be really good. Yeah, something like that. Like we're thinking we kind of want a fast mover, like a fast durable mover, I think, for this probe. I think there are two strategies. You can send your whole team, or you can just send one or two fast guys. I don't know which one's better. I probably have to think about it a little more. But let's go on to the next objective, King of the Hill. So I think this is the last one, right? Yeah, this is the last. This is the last one. Any questions so far? Any questions so far, by the way? Any questions, Commander? Okay, while you're all typing that. In the King of the Hill mission, opposing forces battle to seize control of a vital piece of territory for as long as they possibly can. Despite the name, the hill is a stationary object that both sides must vie for and secure uncontested access to. The objective marker is a pre-placed building in the center of the grassland map, modified for this battle. So we actually don't know what the modified map is, but essentially it's going to be like somewhere in the middle here. And some poor soul is going to need to walk in the center of it and try and take it for a turn. Victory is awarded to the force that has the most objective points at the end of play. Each turn that a player controls the objective marker uncontested, they receive an objective point. The player with the most objective points at the end of turn 15, or all enemy units have been destroyed, wins the mission. In order to capture and hold the objective marker, a unit must be adjacent to the objective marker at the end of their turn. Okay? With no hostile units adjacent to the objective marker. While capturing the objective in this fashion, the unit may take weapon and physical attacks as desired. So you can stand there and shoot and kick and whatever you want. A unit that is unconscious cannot capture the objective, even if they are next to the objective marker. Okay? Units that are prone next to the objective marker are considered capturing the objective. If a hostile unit is also next to the objective marker, the position is considered contested and will remain so until only units from one side are adjacent to the objective marker again. For the purposes of this mission, units may not stand directly upon or within the objective marker, nor can they damage or destroy the position in an effort to deny the enemy. What about tournaments that allow custom units, A8 MPH? I don't know. I think tournaments that allow custom units I would imagine get really messy. I've played around with doing my own custom mechs in the one narrative campaign I did, and I just ended up studying more than my opponent. And like knew the game better than my opponent, so was able to make pretty much like an OP mech. I think in a tournament that allowed custom units, you're going to see a lot of min-max stuff, which is going to get really messy. It's going to get really messy. I built like a battle master with an axe that I thought was, reasonable. But it was just so much better than the mechs that are normally available. I think it'll get really messy. And you'll probably not like it because you'll run into things that like have 7 jump capability with all pulse lasers or something like that, or like 7 jump capability with medium lasers or some kind of min-max thing like that, where they're just jumping from heavy woods to heavy woods and shooting, and making it impossible to hit them. Or you'll run into things like you can put like an AC-20 on a Shadowhawk, right? So what happens when the AC-20 Shadowhawk gets behind you and just blow like one shots your what's it called? Atlas, in one turn, like a 5/8/5 mover with an AC-20, something like that. I would think maybe you might play in like 1 or 2 tournaments with custom units, and then you probably would never want to play in it again. It's too easy to break. I think it's too easy to break. That being said, custom units are really fun in narrative Battletech or in non-tournament Battletech, like in your own custom like 1-player games and stuff. I think it's really fun. I have a lot of fun tinkering with mechs, but I don't know, just because it's so easy to break. It's hard. Okay, I just thought of this. It's like bringing like D&D, like customs to D&D. So like if you bring if you say like all books are open 3.5 D&D, bring what you want, then someone's going to bring pun, right? At level 5, someone's going to bring just like the pun, and then he's just going to one-shot everything, which is why like organized play severely limits the books and has like a whole like document of what you can and can't bring. Spartaner, armor seems to be king for King of the Hill. Yeah, you do need something very durable, I think. Felorian, do you need the same team for all objectives, or can you swap between missions? I actually don't know the answer to that. I would assume that you only can bring one team. My assumption is that you need to bring a team that can accomplish all of these objectives. So, which is an effort to make it more balanced, which makes sense. Usually in tournaments, you can only bring, like, you bring your lists, like for Warhammer, you bring your list, and that's pretty much it. My assumption is that you can only bring one. Custom units are too easy to min-max based on speed to weight ratio and ideal armor breakpoints. Yeah, it becomes like it becomes really easy. But it's fun. Okay, so King of the Hill, you need bring some big boys that can take some hits and are good up close. Yeah, so maybe you need like one dude that's really durable. Alternatively, you can just kill. Alternatively, you can just close and kill. Let's read this. So, the player with the most objective points at the end of turn 15, or all enemy units have been destroyed, whichever comes first wins the mission. So even if you... Wait, does that mean... Certainly that doesn't mean that you can. Certainly that doesn't mean that like what happens if, now this is really cheaty, but what if you blitz the objective, score 1 point, then eject all your mechs? I would imagine this is going to be eroded out. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, score 1 point, then you just blow up all your stuff. Like, willingly blow up all your stuff. Then all enemy units have been destroyed, so the game ends, and you control the most points, so you win. I don't know. Seems cheaty. In order to capture the objective and hold the objective marker, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. Unit rules are subject to change at the event organizer's discretion. Please make sure you have the most common version of the rules packet. Okay. So, okay, and we can all see that, uh-oh. This is probe. Okay, so to play this properly, I'm assuming that you can't do that like cheese strat. So for King of the Hill, we probably need something that's either one, fast and durable. So we need to capture an objective. So we need something fast and durable, or slow and durable. So, like, we either want to blitz the objective and take it right away, or we want to sit there and then just challenge them to challenge them and keep the objective the entire time. If you score 1 and eject the opponent wins. Oh, okay. So you auto lose if. You auto lose if you get tabled. So you could alternatively just turn it into a kill mission. Takes 15 turns for the score to count. Yeah, okay. Interesting. So, let me think here. Based off of that, you could also use many fast units to rotate with the capturing. Yeah, that's also a possibility, right? So that's a good point, Shien. So you could rotate fast units out to maintain a speed advantage, speed defense bonus. Also a strategy. I assume you could do that once and everyone would be rather upset at you. Yeah, very true. They probably eroded it immediately. Let's not do that. Even though it seems technically possible. Okay. So we know our homework. We know kind of like these mission things, and we know the map. So what are we thinking? I think that a range strategy is probably possible. From stand-up kill, right? We know we need high defense units. That can hit like kind of far away. We know we want some kind of very durable mech, or a mech that can't get hit. So something either very cheap or very durable. Let's make a list here. Summary. We want durable mechs, range and high damage to overcome no man's land. We want Again, durable mechs. Or a cheap mech as a commander who can hide and never get hit. Why do we want it cheap? So we can bring most of our weapons into play. Probe, we want fast mech, kill, and range. We want fast mech that can, I think 1 to 2 fast mechs, because we always want redundancy, that can cross and fast plus durable. Cross and into enemy territory. Okay. We want to kill. Kill any mech. And then we want to be able to exit off the border with all our mechs. So again, range. Again, range. And then for King of Hill, we want fast and durable mechs. Or slow and durable mechs. So we just want durability. Durability to sit. Deny enemy points. And to capture the hill. Sit on the hill. Okay. I assume you could do that. TOs would definitely not allow that. Yeah, I don't think so either. That being said, let's move on to some meta mechs. Meta picks. There are a few meta picks that I want to bring up that are known to be good. So the Spider is one of them. The Awesome is another one. I guess the Spider, the Mongoose, the Awesome, and the Thug are also in that category. And the Black Knight. And the Flashman. Okay, what makes these mechs good? Fast, durable. Spider and Mongoose are fast, durable, and you kick. Which forces pilot checks and possibly makes enemy fall down. And then this is either objective capture or objective capture or probe. Right. Awesome and Thug, just good damage dealers. Durable damage dealers. The Awesome has 3 PPCs. You set them up in a stationary position. You fire 3 PPCs. You blow 10 damage holes in your opponent. The Thug does something very similar. It fires 2 PPCs and then it follows up with the SRMs. So it has that pierce crit built in. The Awesome is also an all energy mech, so it's very, very durable. Black Knight, Flashman are just very durable. Just very durable brawlers. Durable mechs, no ammo, can't explode. Now, I want to pick the Spider here as something to take a very good look at. So let's take a look at the Spider. And this was something that was done to me by a player that played in the MRC, which I thought was very clever. So what he did was he took a Spider that was the Spider, I think it was a 5V or something like that. Let me look it up. The Spider. Hang on. The Spooter. 2 medium laser Spider is the 5V, yeah. Grab the picture. This is just a Secession War era Spider, but the Spider 5V, and he gave it 4 gunnery, 3 piloting. 4 gunnery, 3 piloting, which put it at 746 BV with 3 4 a 3 4 4 3 4 3 piloting gunnery pilot gunnery piloting. And the strategy was simple but effective. The strategy was 746 BV. 746 BV. We don't really care about C-bills here. We care about the battle value. What he did I always think that 8 jump is so inefficient compared to 5 or 7. Yeah, true. But I mean, any mech is going to have a little bit of inefficiency. Spartaner. Catapult is pretty good for Lance versus Lance because LRM-15 and the 20 damage lasers and the jump jets. Yeah, not bad. What he did was very simple. Just always jump. 7 hexes or more. We know that base pilot gunner is going to be 4, so the gun is going to be 4. Attacker movement modifier is going to be, even if it's 0, target movement modifier, because it jumped, it's going to go, what, 3, 5, 7, so plus 4 to hit, right? The 3 for the movement, plus 1 for jumping. O and T. O is going to be question, and T is going to be, usually he's going to jump into light woods. The target's range is going to be either 2 or 4. I would probably 4. And then so let's say assume like light woods, and then let's assume that at medium range he keeps you at medium range. So right off the bat, you're at 8, 9, 10, 11 to hit, right? Into cover, or can't get hit, or in area where you can't get hit. Okay. If you move to an area that you can't get hit, I mean, you can't get hit. That drops your accuracy down to 8%, right? 8% on all weapons at best are not a T for the last line. Oh, sorry. Range. Yeah. And then when he wins initiative, so when wins initiative, jumps behind a expensive mech, aka you're awesome, you're thug, whatever, in melee range, and then punches, and then kicks. So when he's kicking you, his G is going to be 3, right? It's not technically gunnery, it's piloting. So this is 3 because it's a melee attack, so it's piloting. Attacker movement modifier, you probably not have moved, but so let's assume that's 0. Attacker movement modifier, excuse me. Attacker movement modifier is the spider's jump. So it's going to jump. Because it jumped, it's 3 for jumping. Target movement modifier, it's probably going to be 0 because you're probably attacking some kind of stationary target, or 1, let's say. Maybe you walked. O, and then R. Maybe range is nothing because it's melee. Actually, range, let's say it's -2 because it's a kick. And let's say that you have like a 1 because you're in woods or something. So let's add that up. 6, 7, minus 2 is 5. He's going to have an 83% chance to hit you. If you're not in woods or you didn't move, he's going to have 4s. So that is a 83 to 92% chance to kick, which is going to trigger a pilot check. And if you're pilot 5, I mean, that's still like 17-ish percent. Isn't his G 2 or 1 for the -1 or -2 on kicks? It's -2 to kick, right? Oh, I see. Okay, I put it here. Yeah. Okay. We can put it here. 3 piloting, -2 to kick. So it's like net 1, essentially. Net 1, and then the range is 0. And so you're gonna have a small chance to fall down, right? So 17% chance. 17% chance. Fall down. And then if he has to take a pilot check because he missed, he needs 3s. So he's at like 97%. Something like that. 97% chance to keep his feet in the odd chance that he misses. Right. Something like that. Let me move this over. The Spooter. Same result, but yes. Yeah. So that's what makes the Spider so good. That's why people are using the Spider, because it's low BV. There's always like a some chance to fall down and cripple your mech. And it's just very hard to hit because, 8% chance or worse. And then a high chance to succeed, right? 83, 92%. Even if you drop it down again, it's still 72%, which you're still taking. And only a pilot needs to check on a missed kick. Yeah. Me Doffy. Me Foddy. Hello, me Foddy. So how do you counter? That's a good question. How do you counter? Well, you can counter with your own guy. Let's explore that, because I haven't actually taken a look. So how to counter Spider-Man? How to counter Spider-Man? I don't think there's anything you can do to stop the attack. I'll say that right off the bat. Can you stop the attack? I don't think so. I think that the Spider's movement of what's it, 8, 12, 8 is just too fast. At least for Secession War era mechs, I don't think there's any way to stop the attack. So your next best option is to punish. Next best option is to punish. Lots and lots of guns, yeah. Now how do you do that? Well, you can take the new weapons called pulse lasers. Those give -2 to hit. Or you can melee back. Right? And that's a very good point, Spartaner. So kind of essentially line up mechs, a bodyguard, or another battle line mech, like line mech, to punish, to melee back if the Spider goes for the VIP. And I'll show you what I mean with dots. So let's say your VIP's here. We will make him blue. And we'll copy this. And we'll say Spider Boy comes in here. And he's kicking you. Okay. Well, not really much you can do to stop that unless you have a boy here. Let's add some text. This is the VIP. This is add text. This is the spider. Spider-Man. And then this is your guard. Right. Bill Nye the Bounty Guy. Quads are hard to knock down. Yeah, I actually haven't looked at too many quads. Like that keeps coming up. I always think they're so ugly, and I never put in the work to actually learn their rules. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know the answer, Mr. Bill Nye. Place 2 mechs back to back, or one having standing information to cover your every mechs, or next to buildings that won't allow for that trick. Torso twist and arm weapons. Yeah. I think from the hex map, I want to say it's in the forward 3 arcs. So you just have to like line up the guard, something like this, which means the spider is probably gonna go for your guard, right? So he doesn't get attacked, and then the guard takes the hit. In which case he's doing his job, right? He's doing his job. So this is scenario 1, and then scenario 2 is Spider-Man goes here. And this is I would say this is probably like your best case scenario, not your best case scenario, but like this is the kind of scenario you want. Your VIP's protected, your guard takes in the hits, and then Spider-Man's, whacking your guard. Not the best when you lose initiative. I mean, it gets better if you have your own spider of your own, like your own fast guy. We're starting a conga line. Spider, like your fast guy / like a spider of your own, or a fire starter or something like that. Just your fast guy kind of coming in to just conga line. Torso twist and arm mounted weapons are a good way to fight back against point-blank flankers. Yep, not bad. The counter spider. Yes, the traditional Battletech conga line. As is tradition, we will begin the conga line. Anyway, that's how I think to counter the spider. I may be wrong. I think my personal strength is probably like positioning and studying heat ranges. I'm a little less secure about my ability to melee. Now, there is something that I've been saving, an idea that I have been saving that I wanted to talk about. And that is, instead of the spider, can the same thing be done with the charger? Can something be done with the charger? Wait, before we do that, okay. Before we do that, I think the counter to this is a guard, or pulse lasers. Pulse lasers are going to give you -2 to hit, so we're going back to this gator thing, right? So 8%, you're at 8% to hit. You're here, right? So -2 pulse weapons bring you up to 13%, 14%. That's not great. I think you still want to melee back. If you melee back, you're at 4, -2, so that's 2. You probably have to move into position, so that's 1. Target movement modifier is 4, so you're at 7s to hit. So probably, now that I think about it, pulse is going to give roughly 13%, or counter melee. What did we say it was? It was, you're at your piloting's 4. You're kicking, so that's 2. Attacker movement modifier. You're probably walking, so that's 1. That's 1. Target movement modifier is 4. That's a big one. That's 7s. And then let's say he doesn't get any kind of cover. So you're hitting on 7s, which is 58%. So I'd say the counter is probably melee of your own, because pulse is not great. Oh, well, actually. Okay, pulse, you're at 4s. Attacker movement modifier, your walk. Target movement modifier is 4. Your pulse, which is -2. Target's not in woods, and then the range, let's say you're at, yeah, so then you're at 7. I guess pulse at no, pulse at short range is also roughly 58%. So maybe some kind of, maybe some kind of pulse, like fast moving pulse mech to chase off this, like to punish the spider for coming in. With some kind of long range weapon to contribute. To contribute to the fight without having like basically, so it has something to do outside. Something like this. The Charger, you say? Tell us more. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna be right back, and then we're gonna talk about the Charger. I want to explore the Charger idea. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Okay, let's talk about the Charger. Cody Brown, or just big weapons that will one-shot the body part and hope to get a leg, since shooting resolves before melee. Sure, yeah, that is true. You could also try for some kind of like 8+ damage weapon, and just try and blow the spider away. Spider rear center torso has only 4 dots, so even a bunch of medium lasers on a bodyguard has a chance to crit the gyro before melee happens. Yep, true. Walk into short range spiders TRM isn't horrible if you have few weapons to smack back. Oh god, I saw that there's a Charger full of rocket launchers. What about a counter charge and just trying to bowl the spider over? Yep, very true. That is also an option. you would only really bring the spider in at the last turn, so you bring it in when you win initiative, which I think is also a weakness of the spider. Essentially, it has to win initiative to be effective. Right? Because you're only ever bringing the spider in at the very last turn, or like second to last turn when things are resolved and they can't fight back. So I guess it doesn't have to win it. I think it's just greedy during the initiative to be effective. Whereas our friend the Charger is a bit tankier. The Charger boy. Let's bring up his pretty picture. I saw he got he's getting, I believe he's getting a sculpt. So he has a new he has a new art. Okay, let's pull up the Charger here. Select unit, add a combat unit, Charger. Let's look at the original 1A1. Charger's a little slower. 5'8 movement. Versus the Spider's 8, 11, 8, I believe. Let me double check that. The Spooter. Yeah, 8, 12, 8. Good God. Okay. Charger. Okay, what if they made their Spider a 4-3 pilot because they wanted because the jumping gives you another -1 on the movement. But with the Charger, we can make him a 4-4 pilot. 4-4 and get the same percentage to attack as the Spider. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And that will take us to, let's look at the master unit list. Charger. Charger 1A1 is 981 BV base, but we want to up his pilot skill by 1. That'll bring us to 1,000. So 1,079. Our other option is these Charger 1L. Which is 980 base with a 4-4 gunnery is going to be like the one. Sorry, this is going to be the 1A1 Charger. And this is going to be the, what's it called? The L? The 1L. 1L Charger is going to be 1078, which is about the cost of a Centurion. Huh, the 1L only costs 980 BV, yeah. The 1L has a large laser and 2 medium lasers. Okay, now what happens if we use the Charger in the same way that we use the Spider? What if we use him to kick? Well, it's going to be easier to hit us, okay? That we can't avoid. But when it wins initiative, it's going to come in. It's going to have a piloting of 4. Kick -1. You're going to be at net 2. But you're not jumping, you're running. And if you're running, you only have an attacker movement modifier of 2. Target movement modifier is also going to be 0 and 1. And he's probably going to be in woods. So let's add that up. 2, 4, 6. So, uh-oh. Did I miscalculate? All right, so it's going to be, I think it's going to be about the same, right? Did I just fuck this up? Am I not good at math? Net 1, 3, 1, what did I say? 6, 1, 4, 5? 5? Oh, I got 5 somehow here. So how did I get 5 here? 2, 2. Ah, okay, 0 or 1. Right. Okay, yeah. So it's still going to be the same. 82 to 92 chance, 83 to 92% chance to kick. 97 okay, this goes up a little bit. 97 to keep his feet. We're at pilot 4, so this is 91%. Still pretty good, or 92% if you round. But the benefit is you get massive kick damage. Right? I think it's 5 per ton. Let me just double check that. Yeah. 1 point for every 5 tons you weigh. So, the Charger, being the fat boy that he is, does 16 damage to a leg. No. The punch on the Charger is 8 points, right? But the kick on the Charger is 16. And it's all to a leg. Get it high enough ground and kick people in the head. Yeah, also an option. Charger also has... Okay, the 1L is kind of bad. All right, the 1L has 88 points of armor. We don't really like that. What's the 1A1 got? 160 points of armor. Plus 122 points of structure. And the Spider has 56 armor plus 51 structure. Okay. This is the Charger on offense. So the summary is Charger versus Spider. Okay. Summary is that on offense moves, the Charger wins because of you get the 16 damage kick, whereas the Spider only versus Spider that only has 6 damage, I think. On defense, I think the Spider wins. 8 hexes move for a charge. I feel like Grasslands 1 makes the Charger even an even harder sell. True. Grasslands 1 makes it a little questionable, I think. I mean, you have to move through all this stuff. You have to move through cover. So boom, and he's getting popped all the time. Whereas the Spider may be able to jump. What we really need to do is we need to count hexes. So like we need to count like, okay, on an 8 hex move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, where am I going? I'm jumping into here. Then my next move, I'm jumping here, or I'm jumping here, and then I'm jumping here, and then I'm jumping here. Right? Like you can actually use this to chart your moves with the Spider with the 8 jump, and you'd have to do the same thing with the Charger and compare. However, we're still exploring with the Charger. On the defense, essentially you're saying, okay, I will get hit, but I will tank with my armor. Yep. I'm fine with getting hit, but I will tank with my armor. Because your defense is not as good as the Spider's. Right? What are you doing with the Charger on defense? You're always going to try to run 5 or more into cover. So, that means the enemy's gunner is going to be 4. Attacker movement modifier, let's assume you're stationary. You're going to get a 2 or 3 movement because you're not always going to be able to get that 7. So it's going to be 2 or 3 movement. Sorry, it's going to be 5 or 7. So 5 or 7 hexes, which is going to be 2 to 3 movement. You're not going to get the jump bonus because you didn't jump, you just ran into light woods. And then they're going to be at medium range. So what's that? 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, which is a 13, which is like a 14% chance to hit. At best, it's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10s. So 11. 14 to 11% chance. It's also going to be a lot harder to maneuver in the back. So once they get in the back, at medium, you're not going to have the movement speed to get in the back of them. So you're going to have to trade shot for shot. Like you're gonna be in base to base contact with them in melee, and they're going to be kicking you and you're going to be kicking back. And it's a little bit more costly that way. When that happens, it's going to be 4s. Target movement modifier, you're probably going to try and charge. So let's say it's 2 or 3. So it's 6. You're not going to be in light woods. So it's going to be 6s to hit, which means it's going to be like 72% chance to hit once you're in melee with guns. That actually looks awful. Isn't there a special rule you glossed over regarding shooting while prone being easier that makes this arguably less viable? What do you mean, Cody Brown? Do you mean that that they're gonna be like one tactic for them is gonna be like just lay down in melee? Advance up and then lay all their mechs down. Is that what you mean? I'm not. Could you explain what you mean? Iskai, how much does the charge do? I think it's like 5 damage. It comes in 5. No, it's a multiplier. It's like your tonnage times the heat. Tonnage times the hex moved. Times 10 or something like that, or times 5. I'll look it up for you. Hang on. Yeah, divide the charging's mechs by 10, so it's 8 for the charger. Do not count that target. Blah blah blah. Multiply by the hexes moved. So the charger on the charge. On the charge, it's going to be 8 times hexes moved. Yeah. So it's going to be 8 times hexes moved, so 8 times 7. Math. 8 times 7. 56 damage. $56 damage max. Spread in 5 damage groups. Welcome to chat, by the way. We're exploring the charger as a viable mech. I just mean knocking mechs over in general won't be as good because they have more options while prone. I don't think so. Sometimes people keep them laid down. That's kind of an edge case. They don't usually keep mechs down, so I haven't really looked at it. Spartaner says when you lock down a mech, you'll be in the hex right next to it, so kicking it would give you a total of -3 difficulty for the roll. I don't really know the answer. I know that most people don't lie down, although that is something that we maybe could study later. I know it's not normally done, and it's probably not normally done for a reason. Okay, anyway, so it's kind of actually looking bad with this 72% chance to hit once you're in melee with guns, unless you're able to, unless you say that's not an option. And you must get in the back. Yeah. But I do think this is I think this is a good starting point. I do think the spider is probably pretty good here. I see a lot of Koshis as well, the Mistlinks, and the Fire Moth also might be interesting if you're running clans. But again, you'd probably have to don't you get a -4 gator target when the enemy is prone? Something like that, Wrath. Let's just I have the book in front of me, so let's see here. Combat. Target movement modifier while prone. Actually, it's a +1 from all others, plus -2 from adjacent hex. So it's easier to hit if you're adjacent, but if you're lying prone, it's harder. Prone mech is easier to hit. Prone mech is easier to hit in adjacent hex, but more difficult to target at longer ranges. If the attacker is not adjacent, apply a +1 modifier. -4 only if the pilot is unconscious. Yeah. I see things. Yeah. So actually, you could technically like drop prone in the middle just to give yourself some cover. I wonder why it's not used. I think maybe is it because like it's harder to get up, so you wouldn't really want to do that, and you have to move anyway. I've never actually considered like running a mech up and then just dropping it prone and shooting from the prone position. That's an interesting idea. Anyway, based off of these things, I think now we're starting to get an idea of what we want to do. Let's look at them. Okay, the Awesome and Thug. Does everyone know what the Awesome and Thug do? They're just PPC machines. They kind of set up. They're very, very durable damage dealers. You fire 3 PPCs with the Awesome. You fire 2 PPCs with the Thug, and then the Thug can follow up with the crit attacks because it has the SRMs. And then the Black Knight, Flashman. I don't know if it's meta, but they seem like, just off the top of my head, they're just energy mechs, just very durable that you can walk them up. So, I mean, are there any? Can we think of any other strategies other than range? Can we think of any other strategies with range? Half the time you just keep hurting yours to stand up. That is a mood. I have definitely done that before. Definitely done that before. But these are the maps we have to study. I'd probably just go through them and say like let's say this map in particular. Like if I'm studying this map, I'll probably say like, okay, what's a good spot? Like what are the good spots to flamers to get rid of the forest, LRM boats to rain down pain from partial cover. Yeah. Like, what are the good spots for me to be in? This one looks good. This one's partial cover, raised terrain, partial cover. This one also looks good. Raised terrain, partial cover. If I'm playing along this side also is good. And this guy's not great, but it's okay. This is also great if not okay, but not awesome, right? So these are the positions I'd probably be fighting out of if I was playing the side. Right? If I wanted to line up the map like this. Like this. If I was thinking about this map, and I know I'm gonna play it like this, I probably want here, and I just do this for every single map. So I'd say, okay, if I pick this map, then what does it look like if I play the right side? And then if I play the left side, if it's the reverse, then it's like, okay, then I'm coming in from this side. Actually, the left side actually looks really good. I can fight out of this position. I can fight out of this position. Oops. Let's change the star color. Like, let's change it to red, maybe. I can fight out of this position. Oh, I don't like that. Let's change blue. Blue star. Pink star. Okay, pink star. I can fight out of this position. I can fight. I mean, this tree kind of blocks things, but I can fight out of this position. I can fight out of this position. If they're coming south, I can fight out of here. Although it blocks off this side. So that's how I would think about the map. I would say, like, okay, and then maybe this map's not good either, because then I have to run it. There's a lot of terrain, so I have to run here. So then maybe I would consider, you know, I consider the next map. Like, how does this position look? Where are the defensive places that I could fight out of this map if I'm playing south side or north side, or you know, deploying in different ways. Infernos can burn down forests as well as cook mechs by using their payloads. A Javelin twin SRM6s can be fairly nasty to keep another mech from having effective firepower in some terms. Yeah, I do think so. How good would mass LRMs be with case and pick the heaviest terrain for your board? Have your spotters go to contest objectives. Yeah, and that's actually something that I wanted to explore. So, I don't know what mechs are like what mechs are out there past the Secession Wars. So that's something that I would have to look up. But just spitballing lists, right? If we're spitballing lists, what are we thinking? I'm thinking off the bat, we probably want our own spider. Let's see. I'm a little. I think this charger idea is fun, but it might be a little questionable. Let's just take the spider. Let's just throw in. We know it because we know it's pretty good. And it probably will work unless we find something else. So spider 5e. 5e. 746 BV. Let's start spitballing some lists now. Let's just see kind of what might be good. What might be nice to play. So over Spider 5V, this is a 3-4 pilot. Archer or Thunderbolt. Longbow, not Thunderbolt. We could. So let's take, we know the longbow is kind of good. Longbow. We want probably the more durable longbow. Hang on, let's make this all big font. Now again, we're not playing with quirks in this tournament, so you know that makes things a little funky for me. But I think the longbow is not a bad idea. The longbow certainly has a good reputation. Other one's the archer. Other option is our archer. I do like the Wolfhound version. I had that used against me recently. It did not feel very good. Did not feel very good at all. Another option, the classic, the awesome. We're just looking at Secession War era tech for now. As we refine our lists, we might want to look into some other tech, like what comes out during Greyhelm era. But awesome 8Q, solid pick. Thug 10E. Also a pretty meta pick, I'd say. Hard to go wrong with a Thug. Whoops. What other ideas do you have? Just in case. Since I joined late, what are the parameters of the tournament? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we've been streaming for an hour. So, we're here to break a tournament. Basically, Era's 3061. It's all mechs, 7,500 BV, 2 to 6 units, no battle armor. Yeah. So we basically need row left. Insert column left. Okay, we want 4, 5, 6. We want 6 mechs for sure. The Stalker with 2 LRMs is pretty nasty. Okay. Let's take a look at the Stalker. The 3H. I don't know about the 3H. Okay. Stalker 3H. 2 LRM 20s, 2 SRM 6 medium laser. That fills all our slots. 3-5. Okay. I don't know if I would take it. It's got 2 tons of ammo in each torso. But I guess the Thug's not too much. I mean, I guess the Thug's not like, where's the Thug have its ammo? Thug has its ammo in the right torso. Little vulnerable, I think, for a tournament list, but you can keep it in mind. Let's start throwing some mechs in here, okay? We know the Awesome's good. So let's just take the Awesome. And we'll do some here to keep an eye on our BV. Total. And then we'll do remaining. And this will equal 7,500 minus this. And that's our BV budget. I thought you said the Black Knight. Yeah, the Black Knight's not bad. The Grasshopper's not bad either. Let's take a look at the Black Knight. I do like the L a little better. The Black Knight Merrick L. I think it works just a little bit better for us. BV 1409. Solid. Let's bring the Flashman in here too so we can take a look at him. I think he's a little bit more durable. Flashman 7K. Ooh, that is an ugly model. That is an ugly model they have on Mega Mech there. Jesus, he needs a rework. Let me look at my chat. Grasshopper, yeah, that's another good one. I guess we can also go with the 5N. Wow. Okay, new tech. Grasshopper 5N. We're loving it. All energy build PPC and medium lasers. That's a lot better than the 5H for an all mech game. BV 1511. Okay. That's looking good. Even though it's rare, I think the Mongoose is very good. We might be able to use the Mongoose for something. Let's just go with the more expensive one for now. Mongoose 67, rare mech, but tournament, so it doesn't matter. 741. Fills, I think, a very similar role to the Spider. It's an 812 mover, no jump jets, but it's got lasers. The Perseus. I've never heard of that mech before. Perseus. The Perseus is a mech, huh? The P1. Made in 3058, so technically we can take it. It's got ultra... Wow. Oh, it's got a tag in LRM 20. See, we have to... And Artemis. So we really have to study these new mechs. Perseus is an LRM boat with case. Artemis, which makes... I think Artemis gives like +2 to hit on the cluster table. Like it makes you do more damage. And then tag, I'm sure, does... I only know tag from MWO, but they're all a bunch of There are a whole bunch of mechs. 1661. That's not bad. That's coming in just a little higher than the Archer. Okay. Let's think about. Let's simplify this. Okay. Let's just think about. Let's just think about Secession War era mechs for now, and then we can layer on the complexity of taking on the higher tech mechs. Because yeah, we'll use that as a refining element. So let's just pretend we're just using Secession War era mechs for now, and then we'll refine our list later by looking at some different higher end mechs and seeing if we like those better and want to flip them out. Because I think there are some bad mechs certainly in the newer eras that aren't designed very well, but there are also some winners, and we should definitely be taking a look at those winners. The IF does not get the +2 cluster bonus. Okay. Tag fire is a round between movement and firing phase. If it lands, it is effectively spotting without penalty. Semi-guided ammo will not take penalty from using it. Ah, okay, thank you. It's an Omni Orion. The P1A. The Venom is out. I hear the Venom a lot. Okay, we can take a look at a couple of these good ones, I guess. The Venom. 812-8 medium pulse lasers. What the hell? What is this? This is a monster. What? No way. The Venom has pulse. All right, yeah, this is what I was talking about. The Venom looks really good. Jesus Christ. The Venom is okay. All right, for those of you that don't have Mega Mech up, the Venom is the SDR 9K. It's priced at $798. It's the Spider with slightly more armor. Oh, it has an XL engine and 4 medium pulse lasers. So it dies faster, but it also is a counter. So this is let me just write my thoughts down, okay? So what we're looking for is in slot 1 we want a Cav mech, Scout Cav, that can blitz objectives for this mission here, the probe, like probe, right? We also want redundancy, so we probably also want another Scout Cav. Purpose. Purpose. Reason for taking the mech. All right, I can't spell. Then we want a long range, like a range mech for just damage. And I think because of the no man's land, we kind of want another ranged damage guy. And then maybe we want a ranged, range slash battle line for like damage and security. And then slot 6, I don't know. I actually don't know what the answer is for slot 6. Maybe it's like a bodyguard, or could be another damage mech. Also the reason for probe redundancy. All right, so our 6th pick, I think, is either for the King of the Hill. So durable battle line, energy plus energy, maybe. So like some kind of durable for the King of the Hill mission. Or it could be just a bodyguard. Or it could be just like a filler. Just depends on how much points we have. If you really want an entertaining list, run the Sentinel 3LB. May I suggest the Wraith? Okay. We'll look at the Sentinel and then the Wraith. Sentinel 3LB. What do you got, Sentinel? 6'9 mover. Kind of expensive. 2,160. Oh, because of the Gauss rifle. What about an Annihilator? Doesn't that have like a bunch of... Annihilator 1G, 3 Gauss rifles, and an ERPPC. Is it viable? 2,000 VB though. Ooh. Ooh. And the Wraith. I did take a look at the Wraith because of Alpha Strike. I don't know about one Gauss rifle for 1,300 though. But I think we're on the right track. Yeah, I do like the Wraith 7.11.7. Big monster 1287. Yeah, I think the Wraith's probably up there. What do we like here? Pulse lasers. I do like pulse lasers. I do think pulse lasers are good at dealing with the fast movers, which is why I like the Venom so much. 1287 and Venom. Then just stick the standard Venom in there. Yeah, let's just stick the standard Venom in there. Kind of want to read the lore for the Venom. Good God. The Crab 27B would work as a skirmisher. 2-3 movement. Yeah. Don't know where you want your bunker to crawl. The Annihilator is bad. You would want a Thunderhawk if you want a lot of GR. Okay, I don't know what GR is, but let's look at the Thunderhawk. The Thunderhawk. Thunderhawk. Wow. Wow. 3 Gauss rifles. Where did they pull this thing out of? And medium lasers. 3 Gauss rifles backed by medium lasers. 3 Gauss rifles backed by medium pulse lasers. Is there a ERPPC awesome? There should be, right? I'd find it hard to imagine they would not slap ERPPCs to this thing eventually. The 9M. The 9M, there you go. How about the 9Q? No. 4 PPCs? Okay. So the awesome 9M, I think, is also an option. Awesome 9N, 320XL. Ooh, XL engine. Okay, awesome 9M, XL engine, which means it's more vulnerable to crits once its armor is broken. But the ERPPC gives more range. The ERPPC gives more range. But we do get the drawback of it being more vulnerable to damage. Oh, GR is Gauss rifles, I see. Might recommend the Yeoman as an option for a missile boat. I have heard legends of this derpy man. LRM 15, LRM 15, LRM 10, LRM 10. Case. Excellent. Year 3060, we can just take it. BV 1344. Very cool. Very cool. For all of you that don't know, this is the Yeoman. All right, let's put him on the list. He's going on the list. 1,344. Okay, let's go back to our comp. So if we need an awesome, an archer, a 2W, and we need a range battle line mech. Can we get away with a flashman? Oh, wait. Hang on. Oh, I see. What if we did... This is an interesting mech. The Warhammer 6D. So the Warhammer 6D gets rid of the SRM 6. But it gets 217 points of armor rather than the 160. So in that case, this is our ranged battle line. That's our ranged. I don't know if I would hate to face the 40 LRMs or 5 PPCs more. Like we could take 80 LRMs and 5 PPCs. So here's the option: 80 LRM, 2x Archer, 1x Awesome, or 1x Archer, 1x Awesome, 1x Warhammer. This is 80 LRM plus 3 PPC, or 40 LRM plus 5 PPC. I think those are our options. Base without knowing. The Komodo. It has an ECM field to fight advanced tech and C3 and a lot of medium lasers. The KAM2. The Komodo. Okay, let's look at the Komodo. There's a lot of new tech that I'll need to study later. The Komodo. Jesus Christ! How many lasers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 lasers, 2 anti-missile systems and a tag. At an ECM. Yeah. Doesn't the Raven do something similar? 708 Raven 3L. Narc pods. Ooh, how about that? SRM 6 and a tag. ECM case Beagle active probe. Might be something to take a look at. I don't know what half of that stuff does, but it sounds cool. Raven 3L. Okay, the reason why I don't like the Komodo is because it has 10 medium lasers and there's a whole bunch of tonnage in the medium lasers. It has to be at 6x's or less to get value. It is a 585 mover though, but then everything needs to be in range for the ECM suite, right? Like the ECM suite has a bubble around it that needs to fly with. The Warhammer 7M works well if you want some AMS. I keep 3D printing the Yeoman for a buddy of mine that now hates the derpy look. He has 40 of them. The walking ghetto blaster. It's effing dumb. I love him. Yeah. He's the Komodo would definitely be nasty to roll into. The Komodo is brutal. Really? You guys like the Komodo, huh? Okay, we'll put the Komodo on the list. He'll make the list. 1533 though. I guess you can use them like a Wolverine is what we're thinking, like a 6.6M. There's a lot of options here. All right, how's our regular list looking here? 36 points. 2,000 points remaining. We need a scout probe. Let's put I think Pulse. I think Pulse will be good here. Anti light. Wait, is the Wraith a clan mech? Is the Wraith? It's IS. Interesting. The Wraith is IS. Okay. What if we throw the Wraith in this? As much as I like the Venom, can we fit the Wraith here? So I'm thinking if we fit the Wraith here, this can be like a scout cav plus it does double duty as a scout, and the pulse also gives it an anti-light punch, so to counter the enemy's light mechs, because we know it's coming. The Marauder 5S if you need something to smack it close and long. $5S. Wow, there's so many mechs to go through. 5S. ERPPCs, medium pulse lasers, and a Gauss rifle. Wow, that is a lot better. $17.99. I actually like that a lot. I like that a lot. Case and Gauss rifle. 184 armor. That's good. So the Marauder 5S I like because it's kind of like an awesome, but it also has the 15 damage for the headshot. So if this thing pops you with the Gauss or it pops you with the ERPPC, your mech's instantly gone. Kind of dig it. Now, it doesn't have narrow low profile anymore because it's that's not the tournament rules. 184 armor is less than the awesomes by how much? $240, kind of like 60 points. It's kind of a lot. But not bad. Not bad. And then we have a fourth choice here. So for 1,000 points, I mean, it's lame, but I mean, it's really lame, but also Centurion. I mean, we could just. I was looking at it last night. I was like, all right, well, you know, if I don't have anything else, worst comes to worst, we can just throw the Centurion in there. 36 point. Is this? No, this is not. This is one more. Oh, -4 points. Crap. Then we'll cut something. That's easy to fix. We'll just cut something. I don't think the Marauder has enough armor when you play it without traits. Yeah, that is a question. That is a question I would have. Maybe we would take the awesome, the upgraded awesome 9M, something like that. ISXL doesn't help with the Gauss rifle case. If your side torso is gone, your mech is gone. Okay. Can I shoot some clan suggestions? I'll try to keep it like me on the cheaper side. Sure. Well, we can make a clan list, and we can make an IS list, just as a sketch. Any other ideas for slot 6? Any other ideas for slot 6? One thing we have to consider is the range of the PPCs. So range will matter with this field. I think range will matter a lot with this Fields of Death comp, or this design. So what we want to do ideally is be able to reach across the board from here into the opponent's field, into like maybe, you know, the first third at least, I think. And we can actually count that. Because we know from the 2K8 Heat, we know the range, the size of the maps. So it's 16 by 17, right? So the map will be 3 boards of 16 by 17. What? No, go away. 3 boards of 16 by 17. So 16, 17. Multipliers 3 equals this times this. Equals this times this. Okay. 36 point. The Blackjack one is pretty cheap to replace your Centurion. Yeah. If you want to be really nasty, put a Helopolis there and enjoy using it as a sniper. I've never heard of the Helopolis before. The Helipolis. Did I spell that right? Hell? Is it in here? Helipolis. The Wolf on 1A can also take the Centurion slot. 3H is brutal. Maybe we'll just put 3H. Stalker 3H. It's not in the database. Interesting. Let me just try throw it into Battletech Master Unit list. Helipolis. What is this thing? All right, Sarna, give me the answer. The Helipolis. Sniper artillery piece. Oh my god. I don't think this is intro tech. I don't think. Cool idea, though. I don't know what a sniper artillery piece is, but it certainly sounds disgusting. 20 damage per shot. Holy heck. IS Advanced. Ah, okay. Yeah, the 2K Heat rules, I don't think allow that, but that would be funny. Yeah, intro and standard only. Okay, so this is max range. Now, what I want to know is what weapon systems allow me to park like on the first third and bomb across this dead zone into the opponent's third. Because if I can get my weapons from here to there, to reach them from there at like medium range, then we're sitting pretty. Then we just sit back and win the range fight while he has to cross into us. So what weapons let us do that? Okay, let's go my side. No Man's Land. No Man's Grassland. And then their side. No Man's Grassland is going to be 17. Let's say I set up on the first third. So divide by 3. And let's say they're also sitting in let's be generous. Let's add some let's just divide by 2. Let's just say let's maybe say they're parked at halfway. So that's, and then we just total that up, right? Some 31 hexes. Let's say that's worst case scenario. And best case scenario, let's say that's this. Oop. Okay. Clean this up. Are C3 systems in this era? Yes. Though it really adds to the calculations of BV. The Shadowcat TC is well-rounded at ranges. It can tear at mechs at close quarters. The Shadowcat, huh? I have heard legends of the Shadowcat. The Shadowcat Prime. Gauss Rifle, 2 ER medium lasers. Not bad. TC. Oh, the TC. I see. Okay. TC 3050. Nice. LB10, 2 small pulse lasers. SRM4. Respectable. 6-9 mover with mask, which makes it 12. Neat. Neat little mech. Battle Cobra is also the is the nightmare of any light mech. Battle Cobra. The Brutal Cobra. Battle Cobra Prime. Pulse lasers. Yeah. Okay, I like this. This is a light mech killer, right? Battle Cobra Prime, 6-9 mover, 2 large pulse lasers, 2 small pulse lasers. Yeah. This fills this slot. I think I definitely want some kind of pulse attacker to handle this. To handle any fast movers. Now, what weapon reaches across 28 to 31 hexes? The standard LRM only goes 21. 21 hexes. The PPC standard only goes 18. So we can't actually do our idea with the standard LRM or standard PPC. Which means we need to be looking at the ER PPC. Huh. Do the ISN clan versions of the ER PPC, are they the same? Wow. I didn't know that. All right, let me pull up Megamech Lab here. So maybe we needed to go LRMs in order to pull our idea off. Clan LRMs? Does that mean clan has a bigger advantage because they can stay on their side? 23 hexes. 23 hexes. Huh. Okay. And the clan LRM, so we need to load like a Mad Cat or something. Load from cache. Mad Cat. Prime should be fine. Mad Cat Prime equipment LRM 20 filter by missile weapons LRM 20. Export to PDF current unit. Wait, where is it? Surely clan LRMs have longer ranges, right? Export to PDF granule. Let me just see the actual sheet here. Madcat Prime. Madcat Prime. ER large laser, 25 hexes. That's good. LRM, the clan LRM. Really, the clan LRMs only have that's the only advantage they have. They don't have a minimum range. Wow. Okay. Clan LRMs have no medium range. Clan LRMs are brutal for the exact reason. Could we get a link to the info on this tournament? I'm interested, but finding anything about it is tough. Sure. Where is it? I think they have a link somewhere. MRC Discord. Is this the one? I'll pin it for you. Let me check the Discord. MRC Hub. The Discord name is called MRC Hub. The Supernova takes care of all ER large laser needs. Nice, thanks. You're welcome. Not having a minimum range can make a difference between losing. Yeah. I do want the ability, I would like the ability to reach across the board and tag someone. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can just stay here, just stay inside here and hit him, he has to move into me. Is there any... Are there any... Oh, there we go. 19 hexes with IS. So the ER large lasers with IS have 19 range. So maybe we change our assumptions. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even hit him. 4. And they're standing 8 hexes in. This is actually kind of nice. Oh, it opens up. So we really want to look at terrain that really just presses in right on the edge. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if we can get right to the edge here on Hex 3 and start being able to hit. Like, we would never take this map. This map is booty. Just looking for just some kind of... I mean, the best we can do is actually just line up here. Something like this. I'd have to look at the maps more. But you get what I'm saying, right? If we can reach across the board and hit them, that's really good news for us. Really, really good news for us. The Nova A can put 40 damage out every turn without any hit buildup. Yeah, I've heard of the Nova Cat. Anyway, things to think about. Those are my thoughts on this tournament. If you're interested in joining, it's MRC Discord. I don't know if I would will end up playing in it, But that's what I think if you end up playing it, or you want to think about competitive Battletech, being someone that's never played in a tournament before, that's probably how I would address things. I would probably go and think about the missions, and then I think about the mechs last, right? Think about the missions, think about the parameters, and then just pick my tools, my mechs based off of the parameters. Keep in mind the opponent might choose the other map first, so you need a backup that fits the strat. Yeah. So we probably need to fit like we need to basically pick. We need to know two maps ahead of time that would work. So if the opponent picks map 1, then we pick back the second map, like the backup map, and then we need to consider it for both sides, right? So there's like a north-south lineup, and then there's an east-west. So the strategy would have to work for both north-south and east-west. Think about headshots. Yeah. Like the the clan ERPPCs and the Gauss rifles, I think, do 15. So, yeah, things to know, things to think about. Hopefully that clears things up for you. Next time, I think we're either going to be doing a painting stream next Sunday. I'll be here every Sunday. So, next time we're either going to do a painting stream, or we're going to maybe look at a faction, or we'll do something Battletech. And then I'll probably be playing we're going to do a Battletech 2018 video game playthrough, and then more videos coming soon. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, Commander. I'll slime you later. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.